Today I'm delighted to speak to Mitch, who's the president of Twist Image, one of the top digital marketing firms in the world.
When we think of social media, we think Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, so on. What are the hot new things out there that we should be aware of in the world of social media?
If we're looking at right now in today's world, we'd have to look no further than a Snapchat. Snapchat is a platform by which you could send a picture to someone, and once they view it, it disappears. It doesn't exist anymore. This is a company that recently turned down an acquisition offer of $3 billion. Currently, as of this moment, they are transacting in terms of pictures shared more than Facebook and Instagram combined. Wow. There's a good part of that. There's a very dark part of Snapchat. There's no doubt about that. But what makes it more interesting, I think, is an emergence of a new thing that we didn't expect, which is something I call the impermanent web. The whole thing that we were saying about social media was it's like an elephant. It remembers everything. Every tweet, every Facebook update, every blog post, every YouTube comment is now aligned to Karl, and I can sort of align you over a history of timelines of what it said. Suddenly now we're seeing this emergence of this impermanent web, that we could have these conversations digitally through images, text, whatever, that don't exist once it's over. Much like if this conversation ends and we go, it's gone. That is an emerging trend that's really fascinating. The other component that I would say...
How did marketers take advantage of that?
Well, we don't know yet. I mean, part of it, you would say, well, I could have a Snapchat account as a brand and send you special things that only last for a limited amount of time. I mean, there are ways that you would sort of figure out how to do it. You might want to have advertising on it, and that always makes me cringe, but that would be one component of it.
Okay.
The other big one is obviously this idea of the Internet of Things and wearable technology, and the fact that we as human beings will be augmented more and more by these connected devices. And people used to laugh when I would say that the toaster and the fridge and the garage door would be connected to the internet, and suddenly you'll see things like Nest, which is the digital thermostat, and we're now seeing that same person create a what's called a fire safety, what's it called in your house? They have the
fire alarm.
Fire alarm. Is it fire alarm? Whatever it is. But the notifier for that, we're seeing that. TVs, fridges, all these devices will be connected. We are using things like Nike Plus and the Jawbone Up bracelet, Google Glass, wearable technology. This is going to create a different world where we're moving from, I call it the one screen world. It's not about 3 screens or 4 screens, but rather the only screen that matters is the screen that's in front of me. Why? Because screens are cheap, ubiquitous, connected everywhere, and literally we'll have screens available to us everywhere. Those are 2 big ones.